This evening, first, a brutal murder in Annandale. A mother demands justice after her daughter is killed by her ex-partner. What we know about the suspect and the tragic final moment. Plus, GCOM's decision on biometric voting sparks controversy. Why the Elections Commission says it won't be introduced and the heated political debate that followed. Also a major drug bust. Police intercept over 21 kilograms of marijuana in a taxi. Plus, a separate raid in border market leads to more arrests. And parents beware. A dangerous drug disguised as candy may be making its way into schools. What officials are saying about strawberry quick and how to keep kids safe. Finally, a tragedy in Washington, D.C. An American Airlines plane crashes into the Potomac River after a mid-air collision with a military helicopter. Stay tuned, these stories and more are coming up next on Headline News Updates. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for January 30th, 2025. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, a mother is calling for justice for her daughter, who was brutally murdered by her ex-partner on Wednesday, January 29th at Annandale Sand Reef.
The blood of the God, oh, every man in your vehicle for your justice. Me want justice for my picnic. Ma tell you do it. Me want justice for my picnic. Me got to get them.
The police are now investigating the alleged murder of 34-year-old Bibi Fazila Ali, a school cleaner from Lusignan, East Coast Demerara. The incident occurred around noon yesterday. The suspect, 52-year-old carpenter Bidraj Ganesh, also known as Boy, was reportedly in a relationship with the victim for over 8 years. They shared an 8-year-old son who lived with his mother. Their relationship ended in December of 2024 after Ganesh accused Ali of infidelity and allegedly threatened her life. In fear, her mother said she moved out and went to live with them in Lusignan.
Drink rum and brutalize my daughter, and we just go. Anyone that she call me, and we just run go. The way she call me now, she say, "How, ma'am, mommy, how we not able now, we will lash. How they buy a beach every time."
On the day of the incident, Ali went to work at the school. However, around midday, the teachers noticed her absence. Her mother suspected she went to purchase some cosmetics and met up with Ganesh, who had been constantly harassing her to move back in with him.
So that she must go and buy the lipstick, and when she must go who parts me if you pull in the yard, or how we get the food in the yard.
The teachers only became aware of the incident after the now dead woman's son informed his aunt, Rewati Ganesh, who also works at the school, that his father had attacked his mother before fleeing in a taxi. Rewati, who also works at the school, immediately notified the teachers and reported the matter to the police. Emergency medical personnel responded, but Ali was pronounced dead at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Her body was transported to the Memorial Gardens mortuary for a post-mortem examination. The police later located Ganesh at the Enterprise Cemetery. He claimed to have ingested a poisonous substance and showed officers the bottle. He was rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he remains under police guard as investigations continue. In other news, the Ghana Elections Commission has decided that biometric fingerprint verification at polling stations will not be introduced for the upcoming general and regional elections. Chairperson of GCOM, Justice Claudette Singh, made this decision, citing time constraint, legal concerns, and logistical challenges. The proposal, initially put forward to prevent voter impersonation, sparked public debate in recent weeks. The Ghana Elections Commission has faced criticism from the APNU-AFC opposition over its decision not to implement electronic fingerprint capture for the 2025 elections. Their members and supporters have been protesting outside of GCOM's office, calling for the removal of its chairperson, Claudette Singh.
GCOM's decision not to use biometric at the upcoming election, I believe, the declaration of war on the Guyanese people. What GCOM is saying to us is that we are not interested in having a free and transparent election. What GCOM is saying to us is that we are going to do what it takes to put the PPP in power. What GCOM is saying to us is that we are biased and that we are going to do whatever it takes to ensure that the PPP retains power. GCOM is not interested in transparent election. And I'm calling upon GCOM on GCOM to revise that decision.
Meanwhile, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Anil Nandlal, has strongly defended the Ghana Elections Commission against criticism from the APNU AFC opposition over its decision not to implement biometrics fingerprinting at polling stations for the 2025 elections. Minister Nandlal dismissed the opposition's attack as an attempt to create excuses ahead of what he predicts will be their electoral defeat. Speaking on his weekly program, Issues in the News, he accused the opposition of repeatedly questioning the electoral system when faced with an unfavorable outcome.
It is not a new strategy of the PNC. They have employed this strategy for decades now. And I'll go through it for you historically. When they realize, as they have realized now, that they cannot win a fair elections, when they realize that they cannot secure the ballots of the electorate in majority to win an elections, they always direct their attack and their scrutiny to the electoral system and GCOM.
The Attorney General said that the opposition is attempting to find excuses in advance for the massive loss they will endure at the 2025 polls.
The issue that they are using to direct their wrath against GCOM is the issue of biometrics, and they are making the connection that because of the absence of biometrics, GCOM is incapable of delivering credible elections. That is their argument.
Meanwhile, Justice Singh emphasized that even if biometrics were introduced, it would require legal amendments and consultations with political parties and stakeholders. With elections approaching, there simply isn't enough time to implement such a major change. GCOM reassured the public that it remains committed to free, fair, and transparent elections while operating within the law and constitution. On a different note, police in Regional Division 4A intercepted a vehicle on Mandela Avenue on Monday, leading to the discovery of over 20 kilograms of marijuana. Acting on intelligence, officers stopped a white Toyota Axio driven by 48-year-old taxi driver Earl Harper of Golden Grove, East Coast, Demerara. His passenger, 47-year-old Dwayne Campbell, a watchman from Bagatstown, East Bank, Demerara, was also inside. A search of the vehicle uncovered 20 parcels of suspected cannabis concealed in a yellow and white bag and a black haversack in the trunk. The suspects were arrested and taken to the CID headquarters crime lab where the drugs were weighed. They remain in police custody as investigations continue. In a separate incident on Tuesday, police acting on a tip raided an abandoned concrete structure at Vendors Arcade in Border. Inside, officers found 51-year-old bicycle repairman Gary Hartman and 64-year-old security guard Neville Roberts. While no drugs were found on them, a search around the building led to the discovery of 4 kilograms of marijuana in a multicolored shopping bag. Under questioning, Roberts admitted to bringing the drugs from Berbice to sell. Both men were arrested and are assisting with investigations. Stick around when we return. Kanu warns of dangerous strawberry quick drug disguised as candy, and 14 entrepreneurs to showcase products at AgroFest 2025 with support from the Small Business Bureau.
It's Digicell's 18th anniversary and we're going big with our blowout sale. Get up to 40% off Samsung smartphones. Yes, you heard that right. 40% off Samsung smartphones. Grab the Samsung A05 for just $17,000, the A15 for only $27,000, and the A25 at a jaw-dropping $35,000. But wait, there's more. With every purchase, enjoy a 30-day free data plan to stay connected. Hurry to a Digicel store near you. Offer good good while stocks last. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services. 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Cab Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. The Small Business Bureau is sponsoring 14 entrepreneurs to showcase their products and services at AgroFest 2025 in Barbados, highlighting its support for small businesses and economic growth in Guyana. The entrepreneurs, representing industries such as agro-processing, craft, and personal care products, will be able to promote their businesses, attract potential customers, and forge valuable partnership with Barbadian distributors. At a handover ceremony, the CEO of the Small Business Bureau, Mohammed Shazim Ibrahim, encouraged the entrepreneurs to leverage this opportunity for expansion, emphasizing the importance of quality, packaging, and product presentation. He also reminded them that they are not only ambassadors of their businesses, but also for Guyana itself. AgroFest runs from February 21st to 23rd at Queen's Park in Richtown and is one of the region's premier agricultural exhibitions, offering a platform for businesses to connect and grow. Through this initiative, the Small Business Bureau continues to empower local entrepreneurs to reach international markets and strengthen the reputation of Guyanese entrepreneurship. While small businesses are getting a boost on the international stage, authorities are raising alarm over a growing danger at home. The Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, CANU, has issued a health and safety advisory about a potentially dangerous drug called strawberry quick that may be circulating in schools and communities. What is strawberry quick? The substance looks and smells like strawberry-flavored pop rock candy, but is suspected of containing methamphetamine, a highly addictive and harmful drug. What are some public advisory and safety measures? Well, the authorities are urging parents, teachers, and students to stay informed, follow official updates, report suspicious activities, and notify law enforcement or school officials if this drug is found. And parents should educate their children. Warn them against accepting candy from strangers or even friends who may have unknowingly received it. Persons with any information can contact the authorities. Authorities emphasize that community awareness is key to preventing harm and keeping schools safe. Don't go away after the break. Baltic Sea security threats. Nations strengthen defenses against perceived Russian risks. And Meta agrees $25 million payout to Trump over suspended accounts.
Digicel is celebrating 18 amazing years, and we're giving you the ultimate shopping spree. That's right, top up with $1,000 or more, and you could be one of 4 lucky winners, each walking away with up to $1 million in groceries. Imagine filling your carts with everything you need and more, absolutely free. Top up now and get ready to dash for carts full of groceries. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Authorities in St. Kitts and Nevis are investigating the discovery of 19 bodies aboard a drifting vessel found off the coast of Nevis on January 29th. The Coast Guard located the boat after reports of an unresponsive craft in territorial waters. The vessel was towed to St. Kitts and the victims' identities and the boat's origin remains unknown. Investigators are working to determine the cause of the tragedy. Meanwhile, Meta has agreed to pay Donald Trump $25 million to settle a lawsuit over his account suspension following the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack. Reports indicate $22 million will fund Trump's presidential library, with the rest covering legal fees. The settlement comes as Meta eases content moderation policies and strengthens ties with Trump, who recently welcomed CEO Mark Zuckerberg at his inauguration. Meta's 2024 net income surged 59% to $62.36 billion. In North America, an American Airlines passenger plane carrying 64 people has crashed into the Potomac River near Washington, D.C., after colliding mid-air with a military helicopter on a training exercise late on Wednesday, prompting a major emergency response and the grounding of all flights. Al Jazeera's Shahib Ratansi reports.
Rescuers search for survivors in the cold and dark waters near Washington, D.C. An American Airlines plane and a Black Hawk military helicopter crashed on Wednesday evening near the airport in Arlington County. 60 passengers and 4 crew members had departed from Wichita in Kansas on the commercial flight. And local media say 3 soldiers were on the helicopter. Both aircraft have been found in the Potomac River. 300 responders are on site, including divers, conducting search and rescue.
It's a highly complex operation. The conditions out there are extremely rough for the responders. It's cold. They're dealing with relatively windy conditions. Wind is hard out on the river. So they're out there working.
There hasn't been a fatal U.S. passenger plane accident since February of 2009. President Donald Trump reacted on social media, saying the crash, quote, should have been prevented. Keith Mackey, a retired pilot who's flown into Reagan National Airport many times, says the helicopter pilot had been in touch with the control tower moments before the crash.
We know that the controller told the helicopter pilot, asked him if he had the airplane in sight, and told him to pass behind the airplane. Now, there's some confusion. Perhaps the helicopter pilot saw the airplane taking off and thought that's who he was to pass behind, or perhaps he just got confused and did not understand exactly what he was to do.
Local authorities didn't comment on the causes of the crash, which could range from pilot error to air traffic control miscommunication or mechanical failure. The National Transportation Safety Board has launched an investigation.
The investigation is at the very earliest of stages, but clearly the major question is how could such a mid-air collision occur given the level of technology now in place to avoid exactly these sorts of incidents? Shia Bertansi, Al Jazeera, Alexandria, Virginia.
In the Baltic Sea, nations are taking significant measures to protect their vital infrastructure from perceived threats by Russia. Recent attacks on underwater power and telecoms cable, some believed to be linked to Moscow, have heightened security concerns. Al Jazeera's Willem Marks reports.
The Nord Stream pipelines that carried gas from Russia to Germany took years and billions of dollars to build, but just seconds to blow up. The lasting damage from the 2022 blast was not limited to underwater concrete. The tense security situation across the Baltic Sea has never recovered, regardless of which country was to blame. For decades, Russia and its leader, President Vladimir Putin, sought to project power through the presence of a global navy. But according to NATO, more recently, it's much more secretive sabotage in the Baltic Sea that represents Russia's latest threat. And cables like this, carrying telephone calls, data and power, are the newest targets. Last month, Finnish authorities seized this ship linked to Russia that had damaged such subsea cabling.
4 cables have been broken. We were able to get the situation under control and locate the ship in question, bring it to Finnish waters, and begin a criminal proceeding.
Weeks later, Finland's leader Alex Stubb joined NATO chief Mark Rutte for the launch of a new military mission called Baltic Sentry.
We will continue to act robustly when critical infrastructure in the Baltic Sea is in danger.
Vessels from several NATO members will conduct joint patrols across the same seas where Russian forces sometimes exercise too. Estonia's defence minister warned on Wednesday that commercial vessels could soon pay financial penalties to fund infrastructure repairs, something Denmark could try and enforce.
Maybe we will see that when you are passing through the Danish Straits, there will be a cost for the companies to pay this because this is basically an insurance fee to damaging the cables.
His allegation, like other leaders, is that all these incidents are no coincidence, and such subsea mischief can be traced to Moscow.
All those ships are part of the shadow fleet of Russia, although having different flags on their tail. Is it Barbados or is it Cook Island or Malta? We have to connect the dots.
But connecting, then countering those dots across the Baltic has so far proven to be a difficult game. Willem Marks, Al Jazeera.
And this brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's Safe TV2 Headline News for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 5:30 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.